Man, I really hate this light in the background. I have no choice. Oh well. Okay. So here we're Smackdown, right? Alright. Smackdown just ended. And okay. So this Smackdown was a mess. A lot of distraction finishes in this show. I would count 3 of them. Seth Rollins notice match, Mysterio King Corbin's match, in the main event Jey Uso and Kevin Owens match. 3 distractions in this match, in this show, SmackDown. This overall was not a great show. It was an okay show, but let's start from the top, right? So it was a rematch between Sasha Banks and Bayley. Sasha Banks is the defending SmackDown Women's Champion. This story was that Bayley was under duress. Remember, she was under duress, forcing her to sign that contract and to Hell in a Cell, where she lost the title. But the other part of the story is that Sasha Banks has not successfully defended her titles in any reign she had, besides in NXT. Successfully defend any titles after winning the big one, winning the title. Every title win on the main roster, she's lost the next match when it's a title match. But this match is just to prove that she could retain and have that curse of losing her first title defense broken tonight. And it was the first match. And I was shocked it was the first match. But I liked it. I like the idea it was the first match. Get the show rolling right off the road. Get people invested into it right off the road. Right off the bat. Not right off the road. Right off the bat. And this match was a good long match. Half an hour. 25 minutes to half an hour. Bayley was down for most of the match. You know, we're back here. The chair got involved. And Bayley managed to hit her, not her finishing move, but the belly suplex on Sasha. She even put Sasha on her own finishing move, the bank statement. Yeah, she used her own finishing move against her. Pretty much, this match ended with Sasha Banks getting Bayley into the bank statement, bringing that submission. That's when Bayley tapped out, and the curse is broken. Sasha Banks has successfully defended her title against Bayley, ending the curse. Now, here's the thing. As Sasha Banks goes up the grab position, she turns around. All of a sudden, she gets super kicked by the untouchable, newly gimmick Carmella. Yes, Carmella is back with a whole new gimmick and a whole new fashion statement. With her new attire, all red everything Carmella, with the blonde hair. Everything, her whole attire is all red. She has a new gimmick, Untouchable, where she's more into fashion instead of her sporty tomboy-like gimmick, feisty sporty tomboy gimmick she once was. After she super kicked Sasha, she managed to pick her up and give her an X Factor onto the stage, signaling her return. Yeah, and we all knew she was coming back as a heel. So I think the thing with Bayley is over. And I think Sasha will be the next feud with Carmella after Survivor Series, where Sasha will face Raw Women's Champion Asuka. And I think Bayley is going to end up on Team SmackDown. They're really thin. Like Raw has full of the women's roster for Team SmackDown, the 5 women representing Raw. SmackDown only has 1 at this point, with Bianca Belair. So I think Bayley is going to fill out that roster. That's one of the roster spots for Team SmackDown at Survivor Series. Okay. But okay, so we get to backstage. We have backstage. Jey Uso, right? Getting coffee. Kevin Owens comes up to him. Jey Uso's scheduled to have an interview, right, later on with Kayla Braxton. Kevin Owens goes up to Jey Uso, tells him what's up and stuff like that. They try to get him confused, joking with Jey Uso. He said we're gonna be teammates at Survivor Series, and Kevin Owens mentioned he doesn't have a good track record. All right, so they go to commercial. Come back to commercial. Now Kayla Braxton announces the next interview and asks Jey Uso. Remember, Jey Uso comes up. Gets interviewed. Kayla Braxton asks her the hard-hitting questions of why she joined Roman Reigns, and then she was explaining why. But he had his reasons. But Paul Heyman comes up and says, Roman Reigns didn't authorize this. He didn't tell you to do this. You did it on your terms. And well, he mentions he whispers in Jey Uso's ear that Roman wants to see him. And yeah, you can tell that Roman Reigns wants, and he has to take orders from Roman Reigns, right? Roman Reigns is the leader. He can't do things on his own terms. That's what it looks like. He has to be authorized by the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Which makes sense, because Roman Reigns has the alpha dog mentality. Which makes sense, right? Now, you got first ever qualifying matches. And so before this, Mysterio was backstage. He was not dressed for competition because he was more worried because Aaliyah wasn't there to be seen. He was more worried about that. And Dominic comes up and says, "Hey, what are you doing? Your match is next. Why are you not here? Why are you not dressed for your match?" Then Dominic leaves, and Baron Corbin, King Corbin, gets the upper hand on him. Okay, gets the upper hand. Starts beating him up, and then in the match, the commercial, the match happens. King Corbin, Mysterio. The thing is, this match was actually decent. It was pretty good. It's just that there's a lot of distractions in this match. So you got Dominic accompanying Way, right? The match was pretty good. Like Mysterio and Baron Corbin, if they didn't have the distractions, people would say this match was very good. But the distractions kind of killed it. It was overbooked. So Seth Rollins' music hits. Of course, it's a distraction. But he's up at the stage. Dominic comes in between at the bottom part of the stage, so just to make sure Seth Rollins doesn't get involved in the match. Okay, this match is going on. King Corbin was dominating this match like a heel was. And then bear hug and stuff, whatever. And a lot of people don't like the King Corbin gimmick. It is bad. It needs to change. But King Corbin, people could take him seriously if he got rid of that King Corbin gimmick. Because he's actually, for a big man, he's actually very good in the ring. Very underrated in the ring. I think the King Corbin gimmick overshadows his wrestling ability. But the match went on. Rey Mysterio got him in was in position for the 619, right? But Seth Rollins attacks Dominic. Rey Mysterio gets pissed off and attacks him. Goes after Seth Rollins, obviously. He gets back in goes for a 619 again. Then Buddy Murphy comes out with Aaliyah. This is where it gets overbooked. There's a huge distraction. Chaos ensues there. And when Mysterio was like, not focus, he hit a 619, not focus on anything. Like, his focus on Aaliyah. Once it came out, gets back in the ring, runs into the end of days by King Corbin, and King Corbin wins with the end of days, cementing himself into the SmackDown team representing SmackDown. At Survivor Series, it has Jey Uso and Kevin Owens on it, now with King Corbin on the team. Okay then, now we see go backstage thing. You see Paul Heyman tells right here for Roman Reigns. Okay, Roman Reigns comes and he tells Jey Uso, "I didn't give you permission to do that. Who gave you permission to do that?" He said, and then he hears what they're doing with Kevin Owens. He's like, like, what was that with Kevin Owens? He's like, "Oh, Jey Uso's just making jokes. You know him." And and in one way, he's a serious guy. He doesn't have any of it. He doesn't accept that. He's like, he make fun of you. He make fun of me. That what he means by that, he's insulting the family. That's what he means by that. And we have to make an example. Basically, wants to make an example of him. Jey Uso's like, I got this, I'm right? So Jey Uso, so the match is there on for Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens, partners at Survivor Series. Now we get this part. A women's match. I'm gonna give the women's match first into the Seth Rollins. What was it? So we got a women's match, triple threat match with Natalya, Zelina Vega, and Ruby Riott. Whoever wins will join Bianca Belair at Survivor Series. So Natty was in last week's match. She lost, but she didn't get pinned, and she was complaining that I shouldn't have been in the triple threat match. So she kind of forced her way into this match. This match was kind of short. Ruby Riott has shorter hair this time. She cut her hair. Like back in her indie days, she had her indie days hair. Heidi Loveless, is that her name? Right? She has shorter hair. I'm like, is she back to being a single star? What happened to Liv Morgan? I don't know, because I would have Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan represent SmackDown. That's what I think is gonna happen. Because after this, they need 3 more spots to represent SmackDown. And so this match was short. Zelina Vega, I'm glad they're giving her some time in the ring because she's good in the ring. She's decent in the ring. I mean, she could talk and she could wrestle, and she could be another version of Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I know you Alexa Bliss people that hate her, or stands would be like, what? No, she can't. I'm like, she has all the things. She's size like Alexa Bliss, but she actually wrestle better than Alexa Bliss, and she could talk. She's very comparable to Alexa Bliss in that way. But how this match ended, Natalya had a sharpshooter, and remember in a triple threat match, there's no rope break. So she was in this. So Zelina Vega was in a sharpshooter. She gets to the ropes, but no rope breaks, so she can't get out that way. So Natalya comes back, pulls the legs while she's having Zelina in a sharpshooter, and out of nowhere, Heidi Levis comes in, pushes Zelina armbar and face into a submission, and for some reason Natalya let go, and then Zelina tapped. This is where Heidi Levis, Ruby Riott got the win, the submission win, and Natalya was shocked, like, no shit, Sherlock, you let go too early. So Ruby Riott is going to represent SmackDown with 3 more spots remaining. And I think Liv Morgan and Bayley are going to be the next 2. And then the 3, I don't know who is on SmackDown. Liv Morgan, Billie Kay's out. Who else is SmackDown? Maybe it might be between Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Zelina Vega. I don't know who else. Tamina, whoever the rest is on the SmackDown roster. Okay, so we have a backstage segment. Big E was playing a game with one of the writers who got fired or let go earlier this year. And then the Street Profits come along, and the Street Profits are in a feud with Big E's teammates on Raw, New Day. I think technically the New Day is not broken up; they're just on different brands. And Big E was being a little serious, but I was joking around with them. And then as they were laughing, all of a sudden, Billie Kay sneaks into the scenery with paper, supposedly it's her resume. She goes to the Street Profits. Hey, I have a headshot and a resume. I have some inside information on Raw. You look at the resume, and Angelo's Rocket, Billy, we were on Raw at the same time as you. And her face is like shocked, like she didn't know that. See, that's what Billie Kay's gimmick is going to be. She's going to be that comedian-like character on the roster, and she's actually very good at it because she can make expressions and she's kind of funny. She has the charisma for that kind of role. I think she's better at that than Peyton Royce is. And I know some of people don't like her selling ability, wrestling ability, but in terms of her being that role as a comedian and a role of being a funny, I guess, funny comedian, whatever role you're giving her, she excels at. Okay, Now let's get to Seth Rollins and Otis. Okay, so this match is be a third member of the Ross team, right? Third member. And but Murphy comes down watching the match, and this is where things got weird, right? The match is going on. Seth Rollins is bringing on Otis. Otis was having an advantage at the end. He fall away slam to Seth Rollins. So who's going to set up for the worm? Obviously, a distraction comes in. But Murphy gets on the ropes, the apron on the ropes. Seth Rollins slowly comes up, not comes up the turnbuckle, but back up against the turnbuckle. Like worried. Like not sure what Brian Murphy was doing. So Brian Murphy provides a distraction for Otis. Otis managed to get kicked down into Seth Rollins' finishing move. I forgot what it was. Oh my god, I knew what it was. The foot stomp. And Seth Rollins hits the foot stomp on Otis. Gets the 1, 2, 3 socked and everything. He kind of backstage. Seth Rollins catches up to Murphy. He's like, Did I see what I think I saw? Or is that me? And Brian Murphy is like to Seth Rollins, Messiah, disciple, right? And Seth Rollins is so delighted to hear that. He's like so excited. He had to hear it again. And Brian Murphy's like, Messiah, disciple. Seth Rollins the Messiah. Brian Murphy's the disciple. Yeah, I'm calling him Brian Murphy. Seth Rollins walks away, and Leah comes up because the Mysterios are watching the match. Leah comes, she was like mad or like, angry. It's like, what are you doing? Where did you do that? And Brian Murphy's like, it's not what you think. It's like, you'll see, it's not what you think. So I don't know what this angle is. Like, this is a high school thing. Like the bullies the kid. The father doesn't approve of one of the bully's friends falling in love with the kid's sister, and the father doesn't approve of it. And then all of a sudden, it looks like after this, when the bully's friend who was falling in love with the sister of the kid they bullied, and the father doesn't approve of the relationship, is maybe pretending to like Aaliyah in some way. Seth Rollins is getting into the Mysterio's family's head. And then you see Aaliyah come out to Buddy Murphy, and maybe Buddy Murphy's trying to trick Seth Rollins again. I don't know. It's becoming a mess, this thing. This Mysterio, Buddy Murphy, and Buddy Murphy, Seth Rollins thing. It's becoming a mess. And so, I'm going to get to the main event. Main event is Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens. This is for Jey Uso to get back to his honor and the family honor, the family of the Samoan family's honor. So this, like, I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. It's an idea of mine, something that should happen. So okay, this match is going on. It's a good match. Paul Heyman comes down to the ring to provide managership, but more like to enforce it. So you better get the job done or else, right? So Kevin Owens has the advantage. He gave him a pop-up powerbomb. I'll get to the ending right now. Pop-up powerbomb. Then all of a sudden, Roman Reigns' music hits. Provides a distraction for Kevin Owens. The referee's distraction as Jey Uso slowly gets up. Kevin Owens was going to go for something. Jey Uso slowly gets up. It goes like this. The low blow with the head, but like a couple weeks on Raw when Braun Strowman gave him the headbutt to low blow Keith Lee, the exact same thing. And then he kicked Kevin Owens, goes up the turnbuckle, hits a splash, gets the 1, 2, 3 and Kevin Owens. And then Roman Reigns' music hits. Jey Uso comes up the turnbuckle, walks up to the stage with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns comes up. It's them side by side to get all three of them to end the show. So I'm going to end it with this. Okay. I think Daniel Bryan's getting involved, right? It was nothing personal. Jey Uso said it was nothing personal with Daniel Bryan. Bullshit. Daniel Bryan's going to take it personal. Kevin Owens is not going to take it personal. Kevin Owens is a teammate of Jey Uso Survivor Series. And Daniel Bryan is actually going to feud with Roman Reigns. So Daniel Bryan is going to feud with Roman Reigns, right? For the title, probably. And I think what's going to happen, Kevin Owens is going to, Survivor Series is going to be a big thing. Kevin Owens is going to turn on Jey Uso, probably give him a stunner and be like, fuck you, man. Give him the stunner. Jey Uso gets pinned. Survivor Series. Roman Reigns in the match with Randy Orton. Roman Reigns is going to lose that match, but not pinned. Daniel Bryan is going to make his return. That's what I think is going to happen. Cost Roman Reigns the match. Because remember, it's not for a championship, so it doesn't hurt him. It doesn't hurt him losing it. And that's going to happen. Roman Reigns and now we're going to feud. Kevin Owens might be feuding with Jey Uso until Jimmy comes back. And then Roman Reigns will move on to another opponent. But Jey Uso will unite to become the Usos again. And I think they're going to have a feud with the Street Profits, or if they're going to have just a regular match of SmackDown title match and win a number one contendership and maybe win the championship match against Street Profits on SmackDown, become champions. I think it's going to happen. And the teasing tag between Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan, I think sometime next year, maybe before WrestleMania, you're going to actually go for it, become a tag team, and they can challenge the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Maybe at WrestleMania. That's my theory. And with Roman Reigns, I don't know who's going to face something next year, but after Daniel Bryan. So comment, subscribe down below what you guys think. Thank you.